KGVO Missoula, KGVO FM Frenchtown, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM. Sports Talk tonight and streaming online at Newstalk, KGVO.com.
Well. Gosh darn it, Denny. It's Wednesday. That must mean it's Sports Talk tonight with Gurnz and Bedard live from the KGVO studios in beautiful Missoula, Montana. How's it going, buddy?
Yes, listen to you. Gosh darn it. You're on your best behavior on Wednesday nights for Sports Talk tonight. That's why the fans adore you, Gurnz.
And I am in a hell of a good mood.
I can tell. You got here early. You're doing show prep for our guest. You're going crazy.
I must have been bored. I got out of the sauna, went and ran a little bit, worked out at Access Fitness. Hey, Denny, remember at Access Fitness there is never any initiation, and there is any initiation fees, and there are never any contracts. So just remember that when you're thinking about signing up for a workout facility.
There's always a Gurnz.
Well, maybe once out of 3 days or something like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 33%.
That's pretty good.
Hey, if you were playing baseball, you'd be a multimillionaire.
Yeah, you'd be hitting 330, you bet.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? Lots going on in the world of sports.
Yes,
we have a first-time guest tonight who will be with us shortly.
Yep.
Former Anaconda Copperhead, former Montana Lady Griz, and now an assistant coach down in Florence, the Falcons. Ms. Torry Hill will be joining us.
Tori's going to join us. Yeah, I don't know if she's here yet or not, but our executive producer, Kyle Stensrud, will lead her to the back of the building here, and we'll get Torry on the radio. If you got any questions or comments for Torry, 721-1290. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Remember, we are streaming worldwide on Newstalk.KGVO.com. On the AM dial, 1290 on the FM side, 101.5 and 98.3, which is where KGVO on the FM dial will be going. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Talk Back. Podcasts online at newstalkkgvo.com.
There it is. You got it all in there.
I did.
How can you not find us?
Eloquently.
Now the question is just wanting to find us, so we hope.
If you so desire to listen to our blustery...
Yeah. Yeah, what are those blowhards got going on this week? Anyway.
Hey, let me tell you. Hey, Denny, I was reading Missoula Junior Bruins, and I can't remember the kid's name, Denny, that we had on, but he had the game-winning goal.
Nice.
The other night, and oh, dang it, I can't remember. But that's just another example of coming onto our show and having good things happen.
Yes, and make good things. They've got 2 games. If you haven't had a chance to see them play yet, or if you have and you want to see them some more, they've actually got 2 home games this week. They got a Friday and a Saturday. I think they're playing Glacier, if memory serves. Anyway, 7:30, Glacier Ice Rink, Western Montana Fairgrounds, both Friday and Saturday nights.
And you know they're playing good hockey, Denny. They just had a kid get called up to the next level, and by reading in the paper today, that happens. That level is where the colleges come and scout these kids.
Yeah.
So, some good hockey being played out there.
Well, yeah, and they talk. It was neat having them in here because they did talk about that. Is that they can only play at this level to a certain age and for so long, and then hopefully, if they want to pursue it further, somebody will discover them and they'll move on up. And I know that they're still in good shape. They're fighting for a playoff position because I think each division of that Northwestern 3 Hockey League, I think the top 4 teams maybe in each of those. Gets to advance to the playoffs. So,
and I believe
they're in there. They're sitting in there good.
I believe they are qualified. Actually, if I read that
clinched it
correctly. I tell you, Denny, we we picked some football games.
I have lowered myself to your level, haven't I?
Yeah. This one time.
Oh, Gurnz. Just tell it like it is.
0 for 2, but Denny, I was 1 for 4 last week, so
I did a lot better last week.
You're on the schneid.
Was I 0 for 2 this week too? Did I pick both the road? You picked both the road teams?
Yeah, Green Bay and Pittsburgh, and they lost handily, and Pink and I both picked Atlanta and Pittsburgh. So 2 blowouts: Patriots 36, Steelers 17. Falcons 44, Packers 21. So the Falcons will be playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl. The over-under was 59. I don't know if it's still
which was a Super Bowl record.
It is, and Atlanta was, as of yesterday, 4-point favorites.
Atlanta was?
Yep.
Well, that changed.
Yeah. I don't think so.
No, the Patriots were installed as the early favorite, weren't they?
I do.
Oh, I thought I heard that they were like 3.
We're gonna. You know what? I don't want to be wrong, but I usually am.
Right, and Lord knows we don't want to sound prepared. So,
and not that we
just
bet.
kind of look at this on the fly there, Gurnz.
Not that we bet.
We do have trivia, by the way, folks. You're gonna like this.
We do. I'm just on my phone. I'm gonna find out what that spread is. But
the over under 50. What'd you say? 59.
59.
Set a Super Bowl record. In other words, for those who may not know that, if you were wagering on that, they're saying that at least, how does that work, Gurnz? At least 59 points will be scored in the Super Bowl. Is that how an over under works?
Well, that's it. That is the over under. So if you were making
total points,
yes, if you were making a bet, you're going to bet under that it was 59 points combined score, or over 59, and that's your bet. And you're right, Denny. The Patriots are 3-point favorites. Somebody told me that.
Well, but that could change.
Yeah, but not unless there's an injury or something. Or if I tell you what, I think this is going to be a hell of a Super Bowl.
I would sure like that. I would like to see an exciting game that Atlanta wins. But
yeah, you're gonna see some points put up on that board, I believe.
Yeah.
Down in Houston, it's the 51st Super Bowl, and I tell you what, it's going to be a show. I do think that. You should make Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday.
It is the most. How do you word that?
Unproductive.
Well, it's the most called in sick to work day of the entire year. I can't think of the.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the day most people. The largest number of people who call in sick to work the day after the Super Bowl.
I mean, you show up for work and you're probably hungover and tired and full from all the beverages and the food.
And if you're in Central or Eastern time zones, you're going till 10 or 11 o'clock at night, because they stretch that the game itself stretches out over 4 hours. Plus, depending on how much pre and post you want to absorb as well.
If you're working a 9-to-5 job, you're probably getting there late. You're probably sipping on some coffee or a Powerade to get some electrolytes back in you. You might work for an hour, you go to lunch, you take a nap in your car, then you go back to work an hour, and you're so dog-dead tired, or dead dog, whatever, then you're going home. I mean, so you work about 2 hours, and the work you do is just, it's worthless.
This
is not from experience either.
Cut it out. This sounds like I know you're not 51 yet, so you're not a 51 Super Bowl veteran, but there's a dozen to 20 in there. Hey, well, the voice of experience talking right across the console here.
The Seahawks are not in the Super Bowl, so So I'm gonna be okay.
Jennifer's Packers are not in. Denny's Vikings, Denny's and Kelsey's Vikings are not in there. It's amazing. I guess I kind of knew this. They're just one of those teams that a lot of people love to hate, but you see some of these hilarious pie charts that people put on Facebook and stuff, where they'll show this little tiny red sliver. And it's less than 1% of the pie chart, but it'll say something like people who want the Falcons to win. Then the rest of the shaded area, it's people who want the Patriots to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's you know what? Everybody bags on the people that have been there the most. And what? I like Tom Brady. He complains a little too much for my taste, but I think the deal that, and Bob Kraft is one of the best owners in the history of the NFL, but I think what rubs people the wrong way is just the overall smugness of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's the persona,
and that's fine. I mean, you love to hate certain people, and
well, if it gives you a cause to get emotionally invested in the game, then I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
If it was a team from, I tend to root for the NFC anyway, but if it was a team if it was a team from the AFC that I tend to like or have no problem with, like say if it was ever the Chargers or even the Broncos for that matter, teams like that, then it might be a little bit different deal. But no, I'm an NFC guy, and the one time the Falcons were in the Super Bowl, they were just routed, and they got there by stunning the beloved Vikings that year, and that's how they got into the one and only Super Bowl. But they laid an egg in that. So, but it's nice to see not a brand new, never before team, but about as close as you can get. So that's good. I like that part.
That's right. Sports Talk tonight with Gurnz and Bedard. We are brought to you in part by the Orange Street Food Farm, a locally owned and operated grocery store featuring the freshest fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, and a great beer and wine selection. And by Grizzly Liquor, located downtown next to the Iron Horse. Big Sky, big selection, and online at grizzlyliquor.com. Hey, Brent Musburger, Denny, announced today that he's retiring from sports broadcasting.
Brent came into our studios one day. I think I told you that story, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
Yeah. That was pushing 18 years ago now, but he came up. Wow. Well, he is what, 76, 70?
Yeah.
Mid 70s, I want to say.
Yep.
His voice belies that. You'd never know that. Once in a while you can hear that in some sportscaster's voice, but it doesn't seem like his has ever wavered over the years.
No, and I tell you what, and it's a shame that he's retiring this year, because out of all of the broadcasters, and I shouldn't say all of them, but Brent's always been just beloved, and you hear him on the big events, but he really kind of stepped in it this year at the national championship.
I was going to ask you, is he retiring under a little pressure, because he has made a gaffe or two over the years, the way he was drooling over the Atlanta quarterback's girlfriend a few years ago, and then this deal, and
yeah, the Alabama.
Oh, look! Wow, Brent, come back!
Hey, I wasn't drooling, Denny, but I was looking. Okay.
Well, you weren't calling the game either. And then, like you say, this year,
and pass down the field. Oh my gosh! Look at the girlfriend.
I guess the incident, the defense of the Oklahoma running back this year. I just wondered if maybe there was a little shove out the door, just a tiny nudge.
You never know. Yeah. I guess, and you might not ever know. It's probably time for him to do some other things anyways.
Yeah. Well, he can come back here and,
Heck yeah.
He can come to Sports Talk tonight.
Hey. Ooh.
He can join us. He can join us at the statewide tailgate show before a football game.
Or he could stay in here for an hour, or we could make it a 2-hour program.
We got planned. I bet you if he is around Montana at all, he'd be willing to come on this show.
If Kyle Stensrud is worth anything, he could make that happen.
Yeah, all right.
He could make that happen.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Hopefully not like the Vikings in the Super Bowl.
That's a new qualification for executive producer here.
It is. Once he gets over his flu bug.
Getting Torry Hill's one thing, but getting Brent Musburger, that's the next deal.
Well, that's one and 1A right there as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Denny, before we bring Torry Hill on, why don't we get to that trivia?
Sure. It's brought to you by Fuddruckers and Happy Days Car Wash. And 721-1290 is the number to call if you know the answer. This one might be a little bit tough, but hey, we give you 3 guesses.
They're
so
all
what
tough
the hell,
for me.
And our winner gets a $10 gift certificate to enjoy at Fuddruckers, world's greatest hamburgers. You start with premium beef buns they make from scratch right there every single day. You get to top it yourself. And I'm not just talking beef. They've got elk. They've got buffalo. They've got Kobe beef. They have got a ton of local microbrews on tap if you want to enjoy a beer with your burger. But you fix it up just right at Fuddruckers on North Reserve. So $10 gift certificate from Brent and the crew at Happy Days Car Wash, voted Missoulian Reader Poll favorite again this past year. A card for the Works Car Wash, and Lord knows you need one of those this time of year. So the Works from Happy Days is in the prize package too. 721-1290 if you know our trivia answer. And former Lady Griz standout, Torry Hill, our guest tonight. She will be joining us in a moment. You will find Torry's name featured prominently in lots of Lady Griz career and single season scoring and assist categories, including 3rd all-time in 3-point field goals made in a single season. That was 71 in 2013-14, behind Macaulay Feller's 75 and Sonia Rogers' 72. Actually, Torry is tied for 3rd with 2 other players in that category. Those 2 other players are A, Sonia Rogers and Lauren Cooper, B, Mandy Morales and Katie Edwards, or C, Shannon Kate and Linda Weiler. 3rd all-time in 3-point field goals made in a single season, 71, and she's tied for 3rd with 2 other players in that category. Is that A, Sonia Rogers and Lauren Cooper, B, Mandy Morales and Katie Edwards, or C, Shannon, Kate, and Linda Weiler. Gurnz, the number is 721-1290. I am waiting for a winner.
We are so excited to give away this prize package.
I'll say.
You don't have to report it on your taxes, so it's a good deal. Hey, when we come back, we will have former Montana Lady Griz, Torry Hill, and current Florence Falcon assistant coach for the girls team down there. Right after this, when we come back, Sports Talk Tonight.
From novice to expert, tool lovers love Montana Tool because quality, dependability, and product knowledge matter. The tool guys at Montana Tool carry Western Montana's largest selection of Laguna lathes, table saws, and bandsaws. They're also Western Montana's exclusive Festool, SawStop, and Wood River dealer. A tool store, not a tool department? Yeah, that's Montana Tool. The right tools, the right advice. Montana Tool, 1908 North Avenue West in Missoula.
The savings continue into the new year at CHS Mountain West Cooperative. It's cold outside, and when it's time to do outside chores, you need to keep your hands warm. So choose insulated rubber-dipped work glove, Frosty Grip Glove by Boss, just $4.99. That's a $5 savings during January hot buys. Stay warm with great savings on flannel shirts, coveralls, work boots, and so much more. CHS Mountain West Co-op in Missoula and Ronan.
One-stop ranch and home store, Mountain West Cooperative.
Downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowboarding, sledding, tubing, winter in Montana. To enjoy all those activities, you probably have to drive someplace, and that someplace can be a little rugged. You need snow traction and knowledge that you can only get at Jerry Wessel's Les Schwab Tire Center in Hamilton. Like a veteran ski instructor, they can make sure you have the right equipment and get you headed in the right direction with the right tires. Take the worry out of winter driving with a free pre-trip safety inspection at Jerry Wessel's Les Schwab Tire Center, Hamilton.
From novice to expert, tool lovers love Montana Tool because quality, dependability, and product knowledge matter. The tool guys at Montana Tool carry Western Montana's largest selection of Laguna lathes, table saws, and bandsaws. They're also Western Montana's exclusive Festool, SawStop, and Wood River dealer. A tool store, not a tool department? Yeah, that's Montana Tool. The right tools, the right advice. Montana Tool, 1908 North Avenue West in Missoula.
If you're flying out of town for 5 days or more, protect your vehicle at Vigilante Parking on the Fly. No shuttle. You park your car at the airport and we pick it up. Don't leave your car out there with those crazy car wolves. We are safe, and we also have garage parking, the ultimate in pampered car care. Clean, safe, and for less. Why wouldn't you? When your flight arrives home, we have your vehicle waiting for you at the airport. No shuttle, no waiting, just ready. If you're flying out of town for 5 days or more, stay safe at Vigilante Parking on the Fly. Make your reservation Monday through Friday at 549-4111.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you in part by Bell McCall Ford. Great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Great deals on 2016 closeouts. Your locally owned low-cost auto dealer for over 100 years in downtown Hamilton. And by Granite Pharmacy, locally owned and operated pharmacy on South Avenue between Shopko and Big Sky High School. Find them at granitepharmacy.com. Before we get to our guest, Torry Hill, Denny, I do believe you have a winner on the trivia.
Yes, sir, I do. It would be Al Mueller of Missoula. How you doing this evening, Al?
Super.
Listen, you heard us talking about Brent Musburger. Was that for real? You had a kind of an interesting update or factoid on that?
Well, they just mentioned on TV kind of what you guys said. He's retiring, and he's going to be involved in some kind of a betting thing. I don't know if it's his own deal or he's working for people in Las Vegas.
You mean like in a consultant capacity or something like that?
Well, either that or his own deal.
Okay.
It's a betting type thing.
All right. And you mentioned you wanted to ask Torry a question or two. We'll go ahead and get to that, but let me go ahead and do the trivia with you again. Torry Hill is our guest this evening, and you'll find Torry's name featured prominently in a lot of Lady Griz career and single-season scoring and assist categories, including third all-time in three-point field goals made in a single season. She is tied for third with two other players in that category. Those would be A, Sonia Rogers and Lauren Cooper, B, Mandy Morales and Katie Edwards, or C, Shannon, Kate, and Linda Weiler. What do you think there, Al?
A, Rogers and Cooper.
Yeah, Sonia hit 71 of them in 08-09 to go along with her 72 the season before. And Lauren Cooper, one of my all-time faves, had 71 in 2000-2001. So A is the answer we're looking for. So we appreciate you playing, and congratulations on that. We'll get your prizes mailed out. And did you have a question for Torry?
Oh, I just wanted to ask her, I can't remember her name. She's a senior from Twin Bridges. She's 200 miles east of Missoula, playing for them instead of the Griz. She came here, the coaches had her here, but she chose the Cats instead of the Griz. You got any inside information why she went there?
I'm not sure. I played against Peyton since we were in 3rd, 4th grade.
Is that who he's talking about, Peyton Ferris?
Peyton Ferris.
Okay.
That's who you're talking about, right? Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was something involving her career.
Did she have a boyfriend or something from Twin Bridges that went to the Cats? Why she went there?
She could.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. My guess would be maybe career, nursing or something along those lines that U of M didn't offer. But I have played against Peyton for many years.
Torry, being you're from Anaconda, you know who the best basketball player boy ever to come out of the state of Montana is. Ask those two guys sitting next to you if they know.
Wayne Estes?
Yeah.
I knew that too.
Okay. I'll hang up. Thanks.
Thanks, Al. We'll get your prize mailed off to you.
Hey, did you?
If I ever need an anti-Bobcat fill-in for you, I'm calling Al Mueller.
Did you know that I was, and I don't even know what year it was, but I was the Wayne Estes 6 foot and under MVP.
In what?
Basketball.
At what level? I mean, what are you talking
The
about?
Wayne Estes basketball tournament.
Oh, okay.
You go and grab their program. My name is there under MVP. And we had Travis Walker on our team.
I remember Travis.
And Travis Walker was a stud, but he neglected something. He neglected to buy the referees and officials beers at Carmel's after the games. So therefore,
I thought you were going to say something. I thought you were going to say something really, nerd-like. Like he forgot to underestimate. He underestimated my heart.
No,
he didn't measure my heart.
No.
Okay,
I had way more energy during those games because I went from 3-point line to 3-point line.
Beers for the referees. Okay.
No. But anyways, so hey, as you might have heard, we have Torry Hill in the studio.
Yeah, we should probably introduce our guest. Huh?
The former Anaconda Copperhead, Montana Lady Griz, and she's now doing some assistant coaching down at Florence for the Falcons. Welcome, Torry.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
It's going pretty good. Tell you, it's amazing how fast time flies. If you would have told me that you played last year, I would have been like, oh yeah, sure. But it was like this is the 3rd year, right? That since you played.
Yep, this is my 3rd season being off the team.
It flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Were you able to partake in some of the Robin Selvig stuff that happened here recently with honoring him and seeing some former teammates and stuff?
Not this past weekend because we had a game on Saturday, and then I was at the Lady Griz reunion though. That happened in October or September. So
cool.
And it has been kind of it's been a very busy a few years since you graduated from the U and moved on from that. Right now it's Florence, but what happened in between?
Well, after my first year of graduating, I went to Rocky Mountain College, and I assisted coach for Wes Keller. Mm-hmm. And then I did some sports information directing with Bruce Parker. And then moved back to Missoula, just completed my master's in athletic administration. And now I work at Bonner Elementary School as a paraprofessional.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're working at Bonner School, and then you make the commute to coach Stensrud's kid in high school, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of a long in between there.
Yeah, the things we do for the things we love.
Right.
Were you always interested in is that your future to be a coach and an administrator, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I love high school athletics. College was nice, but I feel like I bond a little more with the high school girls and have more say in their growth of personality and who they are as a person. So I've really liked coaching high school girls. It's been rewarding. With
being under the master Robin Selvig and you had Annette as a coach, I'm sure, mm-hmm. Rochelo and Shannon and Trish Deuce. How was he as a coach, and what do you take from his style?
Well, they were all awesome, and I can't even explain to you how much I learned in life and basketball. Just always classy, respectable, X's and O's. Just broke the game down, explained things. So just in every aspect, off and on the court, they taught us good things.
What about your recruiting journey? Our winner had brought up another player that, I don't know if we lost her to Montana State, but a pretty darn good one at Montana State. What was the whole recruiting process like for you? Was this just a no-doubter, you were coming to Montana and that was it, or did you have some other opportunities that kind of made you stop and think, or how did that work for you when you were a high school senior or junior, whatever it was?
Well, my junior year, it was cool, getting schools interested in you. So I kind of tested some out, but Jordan Sullivan, myself, and then Allie Hurley and Carly Selvig, we had all played AAU together for the past 4 seasons or so. And Allie was already here, obviously, and we were good friends. So, and then Carly committed, and it was just kind of one of those things that my parents had put so much time into making me a basketball player and, dedicating them. So I felt like it'd be unfair not to have them watch me play. So, and then obviously Robin and the coaches. So after kind of my junior basketball season, I was like, I would be an idiot not to go to Montana. So I just decided to, I think we came in, I was just on a visit. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to commit. And they're like, oh, okay. Rob sits back. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yep. And that was that.
You brought up Allie Hurley's name, and the best restaurant in the state of Montana is in Anaconda, and that would be Barclays. And if you haven't been there, you need to go. And I believe Allie's mom works there or worked there, or aunt, or...
Yeah, it's a family business. The Matsons, her grandma's side, they own it, but her mom works there a lot. She actually cooks there a lot, so...
But I remember we'd go in there and, in our Grizzly gear and stuff, and I talked to her a few times, and you could not imagine how proud that this lady was of her daughter and of you too, and just Anaconda girls going to Montana to play for the Lady Griz. I mean, it's really cool. Just you say one thing and just face just beams, and it's like it's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome to have. I mean, Allie was one of my good friends. Jordy was one of my friends. Carly was one of my friends. They're still my best friends, so it was just that much more of a great experience playing with your friends.
I think I can account for the cousins, Selvig and Sullivan. I can't account for Allie Hurley. You say you keep in touch. What is she up to since her playing days?
Oh, well, currently, after graduating from law school,
very good.
This past spring, she is in Italy playing professional basketball in Parma, Italy.
Wow.
Her boyfriend played at Montana Western and has been coaching. He actually took my job at Rocky Mountain College after I left, and got an opportunity to coach, and they needed a player, and she jumped on board. So
I'll be darned.
She's playing in Italy.
So they're over there kicking it up in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're living the dream.
Wow, that is and
pretty
got
amazing.
the degree first and then went to play. That's kind of
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll explain it during the break, Gurnz.
Hey, in studio with us, Torry Hill, former Montana Lady Griz, and I tell you what, you're sprinkled all over the record books. You're 29th in career in scoring. You averaged 12.8 points as a senior, 8.9 points overall. When you were here from 2010 through 2014, you led the team in 3 points made. In the 2013-14 season, you shot .835 from the free throw line. You led the team in steals that year as well. You are number 4 all-time in three-pointers with 202 and number 7 of all-time with 199 steals. Shooting three-pointers is fun.
Very fun. Only when you make them.
Yeah, they got to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're game changers. They turn momentum. I mean, that was your game, wasn't it? 3-point.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
They, I mean, I probably 1 out of 10 every time I shoot one, but when it goes in, it feels pretty good.
Well, she had that just this rapid fire release, because you're not the tallest player. There, you're what, 5'7", somewhere in there?
Yeah, on a good day.
Yeah, and it wasn't what I would describe as necessarily an over head shot. It was kind of like from the shoulder area, but somebody located you, and it was just like pass, catch, bang. And I assume that's something that's obviously a component of making that shot, and something that looks to me like you spent a heck of a lot of time on. But a quick release, is that something that is just inherent? Is that something that you as a coach now, and you're coaching primarily freshman kids, you're coaching a lot of 14 and 15-year-old girls, is that something that you can work on and develop, or is that just something that is kind of part of just the natural thing?
That's tough. I haven't exactly tried to teach a quick release yet. I just practiced a lot and worked on that. And that's a thing that's going to develop over time in the summer or, off season. You can't really change that during season, but definitely practice. I mean, I would totally work with the girls and try to do that, but it isn't the easiest thing. It's not as easy as you would think for high school girls to pick up.
Well, and I've never thought it was an easy thing. I mean, you've got you've kind of got to look the ball into your hands, but you can't really be looking at the ball that much because now you've got to focus on where that ball's going to go. Well, and it's just like with her release, it was just like like a bouncing off the wall. It was just bing, and it was gone.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but your shot's your shot.
Yeah.
And it's you just want to repeat that shot. Time and time again. City League basketball years and years ago, there was a guy named Matt Sheridan, and he shot about right here, and it was just, and he wasn't any bigger than me. He could never block the dang thing, but it was the goofiest shot. That guy made everything. I mean, it was just crazy.
Oh, well, then he should have won that Estes award that you stole.
He couldn't get up and down the court like I could. Hey, speaking of the Estes, have you ever put a team together after you were done playing at the U?
No, after my first year of being done playing, I had torn my ACL, so I couldn't play that year. And then last year they didn't have it, but this year it's back on board. So hopefully we can get a team together and have some fun.
There you go. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with a little bit more from Torry Hill when we come back. Sports Talk Tonight, Gurnz and Bedard.
It's that time of year again where people make the decision to lose weight. Don't be fooled by programs that offer quick weight loss or melting fat away. The Peak offers a weight loss program that will help you change your lifestyle and lose weight. Hi, I'm Denise Zimmer, registered dietitian at the Peak. We are excited to announce Lose It at the Peak starting January 26. Our 8-week program will help you change your life, eating and exercise habits through education, exercise, and encouragement, resulting in shedding of unwanted pounds. For more information, call me at the Peak at 239-0078.
No matter if it's fall and you're getting ready for the football tailgate, winter and you're having friends over to watch the basketball game, or spring and you're stocking up for a weekend of baseball and softball, at Grizzly Liquor we have all of your wine, spirits, and party supplies. With over 2,000 liquors, hundreds of wines, and a wide selection of mixers, ice, hostess gifts, and the largest selection of Montana-made spirits in the West, we are ready to help you get ready for the big game. We are downtown at 110 West Spruce, next to the Iron Horse, open Monday through Saturday 9 to 7:30. Grizzly Liquor, big sky, big selection.
For plumbing and heating services, drain cleaning, installation of garbage disposals, faucets, sinks, bathtubs, showers, and toilets, boiler repair, and more, the easiest way to get it done is with a call to Thomas Plumbing. 24 hours a day if necessary, commercial or residential, no job's too small, and Thomas Plumbing stands behind their work. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Quality service, reasonable rates. That's Thomas Plumbing. Call or stop by 2327 South Avenue West in Missoula, or find out more at thomasplumbingmt.com.
Montana winters can be rough, and this winter is rougher than most. Now's a great time to buy a new 4x4 from Bell McCall in Hamilton. No more dead batteries, no more waiting for the heat to kick on until you're at your destination. See Bell McCall in Hamilton for a great selection of 4x4s and take advantage of great factory rebates and incentives. Bell McCall Ford, your low-cost auto dealer in Hamilton.
Sports Talk Tonight, live from the KGVO studio.
Missoula Sports.
We're back. Sports Talk Tonight. Gurnz and Bedard. Brought to you in part by Jerry Wessels Tire Center. The locally owned Les Schwab Tire Center provides the best tire value promise. Visit them online at jerrywesselstirecenter.com and by CHS Mountain West Co-op, Western Montana's source for Cynic's Fuel, Feed, Fertilizer, Clothing, and Tack for over 75 years. Our guest, Torry Hill, brought to you, as always, by First Montana Bank, your home for free Centennial checking plus unlimited cash back every time you use your debit card, online at firstmontanabank.com.
We always ask those impossible questions that we ask all the players and or coaches that come in. Fondest memories of your playing career with the Lady Griz?
Ooh.
A couple things that
Robinisms?
Well, we love those. Those are our favorites.
Yeah.
We didn't want to be too pushy and ask. But.
No. Just playing with my friends.
Yeah, that's right. You did get that opportunity. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I suppose probably one of the least fond memories that I like to put behind you is a knee injury late in your career. How you doing? Are you all better? You good and everything?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't play as much, obviously, but I'm good. No pain.
Good.
No, nothing.
She can still shoot threes, Kyle says. All right.
Hey, you've got Robin Selbig, as everybody knows, is retired, and Shannon Kate Schwain is the new coach. How were you feeling, or how did you feel after these girls just went down one after the other? I mean, that's got to be. I feel for Shannon just coming. Number one, she's coming into an impossible shadow to be behind, but then she loses her three arguably best players on the team.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I told my friend, I was like, this is like a movie, because Jordy Sullivan and I are super close, and she's the director of ops for the women's team, so
right.
We always talk about Lady Griz and Florence and how we're doing, and I was like, it seems like a movie. That's kind of the point it was at, adversity at its finest, but tough, and I think she's doing what she's got to do the best she can. So
speaking of movies, it's going to be really cool. I mean, there was a game just a little while ago with 70 points scored, and 68 of them were scored by freshmen.
Oh, the Lady Griz game?
Yeah.
Not quite that, but
but
pretty close.
Something like that.
Well, they of the 63 points they scored against North Dakota a couple weekends ago, 61 scored by freshmen. A sophomore contributed 2.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of movies, how great is it going to be, the adversity this year, and then watching these young ladies grow up to become, sophomores, juniors, and just the playing time they're getting right now is invaluable.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing when you come from high school to college is the experience. You don't have that experience, and they're getting so much experience. It's going to, by the time they're juniors and seniors, I mean, even next year, the experience that all those freshmen will have.
Would you consider that more valuable than, say, a redshirt year? You did not have a redshirt year, did you?
I did not. No.
You did not. So you didn't get to experience that. But you saw teammates that did. Is something that they've been tossed into. Because I was talking to Shannon about that a little bit after the show on Tuesday, and I said, I think I think this kid's got a lot of potential, and don't give up on this one. I see a lot there. And she says, but they would benefit, I think, from a redshirt year, which they still could do. Just because you're a true freshman now does not mean you couldn't come back season after next as a redshirt sophomore, right, or something. But you didn't have that experience, but you probably saw teammates that did go through that. And is one better than the other, or are they equally beneficial? Jumping right in or getting that extra year? I
think it's all about timing and who is at your position and who is playing. Yes. For me, the timing, it wasn't right for me to redshirt. I bet if I redshirted, I would have grown as a player and a person a lot more. So it's really all about the timing, I think, on the team and where finding your role and adapting to that. And if your role's not ready yet, then you should probably sit a year out and get better.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play, 5 minutes a game, it's kind of a wasted year. You'd probably much rather just, like you said, get stronger and smarter and what have you.
And potentially, there's probably a couple of those kids, to Torry's point, that did not. It wasn't even an option to redshirt. Hey, we lost our only 2 really effective post players. So you, Haley, you go in there, and Gabby, you go in there, and there weren't a lot of options there. But at least they're still on the table for further down the road.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you go from a regular looking lineup to, who knows what you're going to get when you throw everything out there. Kind of like the guys. I mean, they run 4 guards and a medium-sized guy.
Torry Hill is our guest. Was defense the hardest thing for you to learn in that system?
Definitely. I was not a huge defensive girl in high school.
Yeah. You are not alone there. You hear that a lot. In fact, I don't know if I told you this story or not. Tom Stage, the play-by-play announcer for the Lady Griz, was chatting with Taylor Goligoski, our redshirt freshman, and she's going to be a great player. But they were talking about her defense when she was a high school kid, and she said, I didn't play defense when I was in high school. In fact, my coach, if we were in man defense, he would put me on the worst player.
It was the same for me. It was like, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was it like that too?
Just let me shoot my threes.
All right, you guard the kid that is no threat to do anything because you can't have any fouls.
We need to keep you fresh so you can run up and down the court.
But that's true, isn't it? A lot of kids, not necessarily just the ones from smaller Montana communities, but I think a lot of kids come into, put it this way, at Division I college level at the University of Montana, they're probably not looking as much for a defensive stalwart as they are for somebody who can score the ball.
Yeah.
And so you've got to, and that's a lot of Shannon's frustrations this year. You see it as that kids are, shooting percentages are poor too, but the kids in the program, the brand new ones, are struggling with some of those defensive schemes. But you can relate to that. Yeah,
and there's so much. The defense is just so much more complex in college. I mean, they're going off fades, they're curling. There's so many more options in college that it's like, and the game is 100 times faster.
Well, because the offense is a lot more complex than it is.
Yeah, and so it's just like a whole different ball game. It's like, what is going on out there?
Well, and it's not that you can't play defense. It's that you just never did before.
No,
right. Usually the girls that are here and the guys, they got here because they can put the basket or the ball in the basket.
I did not mean to imply that they can't do it. It's just that they haven't had to do it.
Yeah. So
especially and I would assume, Torry, that some of the zone defense schemes are even more complex than that. And Robin had some that were probably pretty hard to learn, and Shannon has obviously carried that with her.
Yeah, I mean, Robin had rules, and if you didn't do those rules, then you weren't playing defense. So just learning those, but like I said, I learned so much. By the time I was a junior and senior, it was like understanding the game on defense was night and day difference than when I was a freshman.
Who's your NCAA team?
For what?
Men's basketball.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Tom Izzo fan, so Michigan State.
Boy, they've lost 3 in a row. What the heck's going on? 3?
Yeah, I haven't. I saw that they lost a few, but
he wanted you to say Kansas, just for future.
They got smoked last night. Hey, West Virginia at home is tough. And how about UConn? Another streak? They broke the record again.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oriana. I mean, how many they've read? Like 52 or 90? Sorry, only half of that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Before we let you go, a minute or two about your experience coaching high school kids. You mentioned a little bit that you like to work with that age level, but how's your team doing? The Fighting Falcons, and you are head freshman coach. Is that correct?
JV. So we only have 2 teams.
Right. So you're head JV coach and an assistant varsity coach. Is that how you're?
Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And how's the team doing? And what are you learning this year?
We're doing good. Well, the varsity is 9-4. Good. After last night started out 8-0. Had last couple weeks have been rough. The JV girls, I think we're 5-8, maybe. Yeah, 5 and something.
We have 5 wins.
But for those JV girls, it's getting better each game, and they are doing that. And it's about effort and hard work, and they're doing that. And the varsity girls, they work extremely hard too. They're in a little bit of a hunch, but they should finish the season pretty strong.
Yeah. All right. So you are liking it. You are encouraged and straight ahead.
Is that the goal, to become a head high school basketball coach?
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, that's ultimately the goal.
Cool. Well, you definitely have the knowledge and know what the heck you're talking about. And does that make it easier as a coach? Do you think, knowing with these girls, knowing that you did it at a high level for the University of Montana?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I like to try to teach them anyways. just like break it down and actually teach them and not like treat them like I'm this super girl and this is how you're supposed to do it, but actually tell them why to do certain things of the game. And that's kind of what I learned from Rob. He would explain, well, instead of just yelling at the pass, he would say, well, this is why you can't make that. And so I just tried to carry that on because it works for all ages.
Usually works for me. Well, hey, thank you, Torry, for joining us tonight. We wish you success now and in the future, and we'll have you back on and when you get that head coaching job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Torry, former Montana Lady Griz basketball player, for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
We'll take a quick break. We've got Steel and Stupid when we come back. Sports Talk Tonight.
It's that time of year again where people make the decision to lose weight. Don't be fooled by programs that offer quick weight loss or melting fat away. The Peak offers a weight loss program that will help you change your lifestyle and lose weight. Hi, I'm Denise Zimmer, registered dietitian at the Peak. We are excited to announce Lose It at the Peak starting January 26. Our 8-week program will help you change your life, eating and exercise habits through education, exercise, and encouragement, resulting in shedding of unwanted pounds. For more information, call me at the Peak at 239-0078.
From novice to expert, tool lovers love Montana Tool because quality, dependability, and product knowledge matter. The tool guys at Montana Tool carry Western Montana's largest selection of Laguna lathes, table saws, and bandsaws. They're also Western Montana's exclusive Festool, Sawstop, and Wood River dealer. A tool store, not a tool department? Yeah, that's Montana Tool. The right tools, the right advice. Montana Tool, 1908 North Avenue West in Missoula.
The savings continue into the new year at CHS Mountain West Cooperative. It's cold outside, and when it's time to do outside chores, you need to keep your hands warm. So choose insulated rubber-dipped work glove, Frosty Grip Glove by Boss, just $4.99. That's a $5 savings during January hot buys. Stay warm with great savings on flannel shirts, coveralls, work boots, and so much more. CHS Mountain West Co-op in Missoula and Ronan.
One-stop ranch and home store, Mountain West Cooperative.
From novice to expert, tool lovers love Montana Tool because quality, dependability, and product knowledge matter. The tool guys at Montana Tool carry Western Montana's largest selection of Laguna lathes, table saws, and bandsaws. They're also Western Montana's exclusive Festool, Sawstop, and Wood River dealer. A tool store, not a tool department? Yeah, that's Montana Tool. The right tools, the right advice. Montana Tool, 1908 North Avenue West in Missoula.
Montana winters can be rough, and this winter is rougher than most. Now's a great time to buy a new 4x4 from Bell McCall in Hamilton. No more dead batteries, no more waiting for the heat to kick on until you're at your destination. See Bell McCall in Hamilton for a great selection of 4x4s and take advantage of great factory rebates and incentives. Bell McCall Ford, your low-cost auto dealer in Hamilton.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight with Gurnz and Bedard. Thank you once again to our guest. Brought to you by First Montana Bank, Torry Hill, former Montana Lady Griz sharpshooter. Nice interview. Nice young lady, Denny.
She sure is. And then the connection there is our executive producer, Kyle Stensrud's daughter, Emma is a freshman at Florence High School, and so Torry is her coach. So that's how Kyle and Torry got together, and he said that she being Torry is just terrific with those kids. They all think the world of her, really respect her, and really a pleasure learning and playing for her. That's pretty much the consensus there. So. Yeah, I would say that she could have a very nice career somewhere.
Yeah, I hope she does well.
Me too.
Hope she does well.
Let's see. It must be time for Scott Guernsey's Steel of the Week. And that's brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality, manufactured, and fabricated steel products.
Something interesting, Denny, that I just saw 30 seconds ago.
And I'm lying. You were so busy prepping for Torry Hill, finding all those stats and all those numbers. I was going through all that stuff too. What's kind of interesting going, Oh, yeah, she did do that. And, oh, wow, yeah, she did make that many threes in a season. And, wow, for 4 seasons, not only did she lead the team in 3-point field goals made, she also led the team in assists, which, that means you're not being too selfish with the ball. That means you're a pretty good all-around player.
Well, Denny, the theme of the steal and the stupid this week is drugs.
Oh, man.
Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world, has won 9 gold medals in the Olympics. I believe he's won 3 every year, 100 and 200 in the 4x100 relay. Well, he is being stripped of one of his medals, but it's not his fault. The IOC announced sanctions against Nesta Carter, one of the Jamaican men competing in the 4x100 relay event in 2008. Reanalysis of his samples found the prohibited substance methylhexaniamine in his blood and violated anti-doping rules. And if one member is found guilty of that in a relay team, then the whole team is disqualified. I don't know if you'd technically call it stealing Bolt's gold medal, but
somebody else gets it.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So I guess that the silver's now gold, the bronze is now silver, and the 4th place team would be
the gold,
would be
or
bronze.
The bronze. Yeah.
So
yeah. Wow.
See what happens. That's my steal of the week.
Brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality manufactured and fabricated steel products. We move on to stupid.
A question is, though, you get your medal stripped from you. I ain't giving it back if I'm Usain Bolt. I lost it. Yeah, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, it's in my other running shorts. I don't know what.
Stupid athlete of the week. Involves drugs. Chad Morris.
You're consistent.
Chad Morris, head coach of the SMU Mustangs. And the SMU football program, that was Eric Dickerson, Craig James.
Way back in
the early 80s, I believe, 83.
Pre-death penalty.
Yeah, they had some stuff going on down there, and they kiboshed the whole program. It was gone for like 10 years, or I don't know.
They just dropped it, just flat out. You got the death penalty.
They bring it back. The basketball program with head coach Larry Brown, who wherever he goes, there's sanctions that follow. They had
seems
to
be that way. Yeah.
It's just not a good deal. Well, when the kids came back from Christmas break, Chad Morris, who is a very high moral guy, decides to drug test the entire team. And, needless to say, 7 SMU football players quit after the surprise drug test was announced. So they didn't even go and test. And they are now gone. And that's pretty stupid that you can't keep your nose clean for, I don't get it, but whatever. Those are my stupid athletes of the week. The SMU football players, the 7 that got booted off that team, or that quit the team, I should say.
Yeah.
So that is my stupid.
On any team, that's a pretty high ratio of your players, but I would think, especially on a basketball. You know who I felt bad for was the Creighton Blue Jays.
Do tell, what happened?
Well, they were, I don't know if they were undefeated or just had 1 loss. Now, I can't remember. But they were ranked, I believe they were in the top 10, or they were the 10th ranked team in the country. They won that tournament that Montana went down and played in.
Oh, okay.
Where'd they go? The Virgin Islands?
Virgin Islands?
Yeah. They won that tournament. I mean, this is a dang good club with by far and away, one of the very best point guards in the country. Pretty important position. Blew out his knee, gone for the season. I felt so bad for them.
Yeah, Creighton, one of those mid-majors that
it's one of those
consistently
consistently good, and usually get a pretty high seed, but haven't really been able to advance very far in the tournament. And it was kind of looked like, well, this might be the year that they do that, but you lose I'm sure they're still pretty good, but you lose a player like that, and while some fans might not feel sorry for the big-name schools that win all the time that have something like that happen to them, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't feel that way about Creighton.
Well, and then back to the SMU, the drug thing. You look at it one of two ways. Either. Well, I look at it this way. Maybe the guy's trying to clean the house.
Well,
I mean,
what if that doesn't send a message? I guess I don't know what would.
Well, because I would say, how do I say this? I would say a lot of head coaches would would look the other way on minor drug use, and maybe not look the other way, but just kind of just not pay attention to it because, you know, a lot of people are doing it. But if this guy is trying to change the culture down there, then maybe you do the surprise test and weed out the guys that you know, the low character guys. I don't know. Maybe it was a planned deal. Who knows?
And you'd think that a school with a name like Southern Methodist University would probably tend to take the moral high ground. But then you go back and go, well, then how did their football team get the death penalty from the NCAA many years ago?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, you never know. Griz basketball, Denny?
Got to get a couple wins.
Yes, boy, I tell you what, a couple of took it on the chin.
They did.
I don't remember the exact stat, but they are undefeated when they don't give up more than 72 or whatever.
And they gave up way more than that. And Travis DeCure, the head coach, said, you know, I wasn't ready to say we had a couple of guys that were not on their game shooting-wise as far as three-pointers and all, but it was all about the defense. He said they just, for some reason lost focus, did not bring anything near their A game to defend those two schools, Portland State and Sacramento State. A couple of really athletic clubs, I think, especially Portland State, and then they're one of the premier teams. They're in the top 5 in the nation in forcing turnovers. Montana had 16, which isn't horrendous, not horrible, but when you're a team that averages about 7 a game as Montana was doing, that's a lot. But he said the defensive intensity just wasn't there. And
chemistry, he brought up. Defensive chemistry.
Sure. I mean, he's just very brutally honest about it, but then he also turns around and says, we'll be fine.
Lost 88-79 at Portland State, and then end up losing at Sacramento State.
Yeah, gave up
92-83. Yeah. And, you know, it's interesting, though, and the Cats are getting better because they go on the road and they sweep both of those teams.
Yeah, that one surprised me. And so it kind of, now you kind of start looking over your shoulder at that situation. We've got them at home the week after this. The first Brawl of the Wild Saturday is February 4th. Montana State women here to play the Lady Griz at 2, and then the men's game at 7 o'clock. They do that doubleheader at home site thing now rather than split them up. So we've got both the Montana State games a week from Saturday. But another tough task ahead. 2 teams that in this odd schedule where you end up playing some teams twice before you play some teams once. And that's the situation. We just played Eastern Washington and Idaho a few weeks ago. Well, turn it around. Now they're coming to town.
Eastern Washington coming in at 5-2, Idaho 4-3. The Grizzlies sit all alone in 4th place at 5-3, right. 10-11 overall. And I tell you what, Denny, I mean, honestly, right where, you know, everything's still in front of you. Everybody's in the conference tournament.
You bet.
I still think that the Grizzlies and Weber State are the cream of the crop in the Big Sky.
I think so. And so they just got to get those defensive intensity fires lit again, Gurnz.
Lady Griz on the road.
Yeah.
This week and getting better every week. As
we hope so. It is. It has been a struggle. It's a real challenge.
A freshman-laden team, and you know what? When you've got young people, they make mistakes, but they learn in a hurry. So
I hope so.
All right, Denny. Well, I will see you next week.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Week before the Super Bowl, and
we'll make our predictions.
We'll make our bets, and we'll end up being rich guys.
Yeah, right.
Hey, National Signing Day, February 1st. So lots to talk about, Denny.
Lots to talk about.
See you next week, buddy. Sports Talk Tonight, Gurnz and Bedard.
Downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowboarding,